Hey, thank you. And awesome material, Patrick. I wanted to
Thanks.
kind of lead off of it was similar to the last question
Hmm.
with running Facebook ads because I've been
Yes.
trying to get into the Facebook ads for my Facebook marketplace and I connected it to my Instagram shop.
Hmm.
Um, Working with you guys, we get to see the back end of it because I'm really trying to learn, when to do a conversion campaign and
Yeah.
when to do a lead generation campaign. And I've also heard very contradicting viewpoints on both ends, where it's
Yes.
saying, run it to a broad audience. And then I've heard, I think it was even on your podcast, run it to a specific niche audience and work backwards, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to learn that business
Yeah.
and I'd like to see the back end too, if I saw what you guys were doing.
Yeah. I always use this fishing boat analogy because I really like it, and I'll give it to you because it's so important. And I'll say big picture. I do not advocate even that our customers advertise to cold traffic. Traffic can be thought of as cold and warm. It's just like the relationship example, right? Cold has never met Ryan. They don't know who he is. They've never seen his art before. Warm is everything from they've seen your art one time all the way to they know your entire life story, right? They know your grandparents' name and your kid's name and your wife's name and everything, right? So that's warm. They know you. And everybody, is lured to Facebook and Instagram ads. Oh, it's so easy. I can boost a post. I can do this. There's so much material out there. And no one understands that you will never, okay, ever make it with Facebook ads if you and I say this analogy a couple of times, but I say until you can do 100 push-ups in one sitting. And what are the 100 push-ups? It's the marketing muscles that you need to be able to actually see an ROI from the spend, okay? What is it? What is 100 push-ups? You need to be posting regularly on Facebook and Instagram. And I don't mean just salesy stuff all the time. I mean just stuff to be awesome and to grow followers and to interact. You need to be doing that on a regular basis. You need to be growing an email list. You need to be emailing that email list at least once a week, sometimes more per week as you get a little bit better and more sophisticated. You need to be having sales at all the right times of the year and when it's right, right? And especially Q4, but Valentine's Day was a good one. Depending on what your niche is, there's a whole bunch of other ones. You need to understand all the mechanics of the sale. Once you have that in place and you're doing that consistently, then you're ready for warm ads. And I know because it's a chicken and egg thing early on. You're like, I don't have any traffic. I just need it. So your mind's in the right place. But the only way that you are going to turn an ROI on ads to warm traffic is once you have that set up and once you have that ready to go. We have a very in depth and detailed Facebook ads playbook to start with warm. If you can't make warm ads pay, you will never make cold ads pay. So it always starts with warm, right? It has to start with warm. Once you have that going and you have that humming, then you can move to cold. But my primary thesis on Facebook and Instagram ads that is really important and no one understands is that Facebook and Instagram has a free service and it has a paid service. There's two plans. Now the plans aren't published. There's no pricing table. You can't go to facebook.com and look at the paid plan or instagram.com and go look at the paid plan. But what warm ads, so ads to people that have interacted with Ryan's brand, and let me just define it. People that have engaged with his Instagram post go into a warm audience. People that have engaged with his Facebook post go into a warm audience. His entire email list goes into a warm audience. Any email database that he might have, a database period, even if it doesn't have emails, goes in and is an audience. The Facebook Pixel, which is a line of tracking code that sits on his website, registers all of the people that visit his website. That goes into a warm audience. Collectively, I call that the kitchen sink. That's your kitchen sink audience, okay? Showing ads to that warm audience on Facebook and Instagram is just the paid plan. It's the paid plan. And anyone that can do the 100 push ups, anyone that is posting regularly, gathering emails, having a sale when the time is right, all need to be on the paid plan. Because all it does is it takes us back to the good old days when 100% of our followers would see all of our posts, right? The early days on Instagram, the early days on Facebook, if you followed somebody, you saw 100% of their posts. Now it's less than 1%, depending on what it is. And so warm ads done correctly, and let me tell you, Facebook is laden with idiot taxes all over the place. I have paid all of them. I can save you from paying them. Zuckerberg has enough money. He does not need any more. I shouldn't say that we're streaming on Facebook, but it's just the paid plan to Facebook and Instagram. And they have all the attention. We have to pay for it. And you'll go from 1% seeing your organic post and yes, your sales post to 60, 70, 80, 90, sometimes, close to 100%. So that's the ball game. That's where to start. That's how you get the ROI. I love that your mind's in it already, but I'm worried if you're not doing that and you're not starting with warm, you like, it's like trying to ride the bike without the training wheels. You got to do the training wheels first, master that, then take them off.
That's a lot of good information. Thank
Yeah.
you. And then real quick, just following up on this, I saw this on the demo with the Bono painting. My
Yeah.
question also is intellectual property.
Yeah.
How, what about going about intellectual property? Is there with you guys, are you able to sell things that are like celebrities or
No, it's a
what
total
you know what I'm saying?
it's a total charcoal gray area, and we leave it up to the artist or the photographer. Um, what normally happens, well, it's different in every niche, right? And I get this question all the time. Um, we have a guy that literally goes into theme parks that will remain nameless. I'm not going to use the name, but contemplate mouse ears, and you can figure out which one it is. And he photographs the inside of the theme parks, and then he sells the prints of this, and they are doing incredibly well. Now that is a massively charcoal gray area. Like you can't be selling that stuff, right? But it's not our business; it's his. If we get a cease and desist letter, we'll pull it down. But he's actually in a group with employees from said mouse ear company that say in the group, technically we could come after you for this, but we know all you're doing is just driving people into our parks even further, right? It's like a form of marketing. So as long as you're not selling millions of dollars a year, we probably won't come after you. So there's a whole lot of niches that are like that. Until you end up making a ton of noise, you probably won't get called out. But what will happen is that you'll eventually get a cease and desist letter, and they'll tell you to take it down. And sometimes it could be a shakedown. It's sort of it's up to the individual artist or photographer to navigate, and there's no one catch-all answer that does it conclusively. That's sort of how it's laid out. But yeah, we leave it up to you guys to say like, hey, we're all adults here. As long as everyone's playing by the rules and we're not getting takedown notices, it's up to you. So that's how we do it. Thanks, Rand. And do not just run ads for your sales. You have to run ads sometimes for posts that have no links even to your website, just to show you're awesome and grow your following. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for checking out the Q&A. What if you have your own question? First, you can leave me a comment below on this YouTube video. I see them. I will respond. Number two, definitely encourage you to subscribe. It's very easy to do. There's some fancy motion graphics going across the screen now, but there's a subscribe button. There's a bell button. You'll know when we're live. You can come on and say, Patrick, I have a question, even from your YouTube app, which is super handy. And then the third is 3 times weekly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, free Zoom calls. We call them the Art Business Workshops. There's going to be a link directly below me in this description. You can sign up. They're free. You can come answer your question, which I'm sure will be awesome. And I will do my measure best to make sure my advice is slightly better than marginal. No, but in all seriousness, I'll take a crack at answering it. Thanks for checking out this video.